was a cold Christmas Eve, and Mia was driving through a remote forest road to reach her parents' house. The snowstorm had intensified, making visibility almost zero. Her car's radio began to flicker, static interrupting the Christmas carols. Suddenly, the headlights illuminated a figure standing in the middle of the road. Mia slammed on the brakes, her car skidding to a halt. The figure didn't move. Dressed in tattered, old-fashioned clothes, he looked like someone lost in time. She rolled down her window cautiously. "Do you need help?" she asked, her voice trembling. The man didn't respond, but began walking toward her car. His face was pale, eyes hollow. Fear gripped her as she realized something wasn't right. She quickly rolled up the window and locked the doors. The man's lips moved, whispering words she couldn't hear. Then he disappeared into thin air. Shaken, Mia decided to drive on. But as she glanced in her rearview mirror, she saw him sitting in her back seat, grinning. The car swerved off the icy road and hit a tree. When Mia woke up, rescue workers surrounded her. She asked about the man, but they said she was alone. Yet, deep in the snow by her car, there were footprints leading into the woods. Tom and his family had just moved into an old Victorian house known for its eerie past. On Christmas night, as they gathered by the fireplace, they heard faint caroling outside. Excited, Tom's daughter ran to the door and opened it. Standing on the porch were 3 children, dressed in vintage Christmas attire, holding candles. They didn't say a word, but began singing in haunting harmony. Tom invited them in to warm up, but they shook their heads, their eyes glassy and devoid of life. As they sang, the air inside the house grew colder. Frost began creeping up the windows. Suddenly, the lights flickered, and the children's voices grew distorted, almost demonic. Their once innocent faces now appeared gaunt, their eyes black pits. Terrified, Tom slammed the door shut. The singing continued, echoing through the walls. When he peeked outside again, the children were gone, leaving behind 3 melted candles on the doorstep. Later, Tom discovered an old newspaper article revealing that 3 children had died in the house during a Christmas fire decades ago. Since then, their spirits were said to haunt the property, looking for warmth they could never find. Emily loved Christmas shopping. This year, she found a beautiful, antique music box at a flea market. The seller warned her it wasn't an ordinary gift, but she brushed it off as a sales tactic. That night, Emily placed the music box under her tree and went to bed. At midnight, she was awakened by the sound of the music box playing. Its melody was haunting, far different from the cheerful tune she had heard earlier. She went downstairs to check, only to find the box open and spinning on its own. The room smelled of burning wood. As she approached the box, she noticed the reflection of a woman in its tiny mirror. The woman's face was scarred, her eyes filled with rage. Emily's body froze as the reflection moved, reaching out of the mirror toward her. Panicked, Emily threw the box into the fireplace. The flames roared unnaturally high, and a blood-curdling scream echoed through the house. The next morning, Emily found a note in the ashes. "You can't destroy me. I'll be back." That Christmas, Emily moved out of her house, but every year since, she has received a crimson-wrapped box on her doorstep.